Welcome back to Emporia, Kansas for the PDGA's coverage of the 2024 Professional Masters Disc Golf World Championships presented by Dynamic Discs. I'm Nathan Johnson, joined in the booth today by Dan Brooks-Wells. How's it going, Dan?
Doing pretty fantastic over here. We have a scorcher today. It is 101 degrees, feels like 108, and it is windy. So the players are definitely dealing with the elements. We have Rovere at 4 under, McCabe at even, Mika Laikko at 2 under, and we have Faes at 2 up.
Yeah, some other players. Dana Vici trying to make another appearance on our lead card. Dutch Napier making moves as well. You can see the scores a lot lower than they were in round 1, so we'll see if these players can turn it around on the back 9.
Here we are starting at hole 10. This is a par 4, 585 feet. Tight gap. Want to hyzer out here to the left, and then you're dealing with these trees for your upshot. There is OB on the left side, across that path, and a little bit deep as well. This tee shot, a lot of it is about position. If you get too far out to the left, then you have more trees to deal with.
But goal number 1 is get out the gap, and that is exactly what Joe Rovere does. Perfectly thrown tee shot right there. And a little bit of old man shade golf is what we'd love to see here at Masters Worlds.
I've been trying to do that more and more, you know what I mean? Just really see the benefit in it.
Yeah, the long-term benefits, really just are, we don't talk about them enough,
Really don't.
Faes pulled that shot a little bit. He's going to be on the right-hand side. We'll probably have to scramble a bit. This is looking much better from Laikko.
Yeah, and he does scoot a little farther left, but he's far enough that he doesn't really have to deal with those trees. He might have to do a little step out, but we will see. McCabe a little inside, but gets through.
He will have to deal with those trees. It's going to be an interesting upshot coming up for McCabe. We saw Dave Feldberg there in round 1 and had to kind of go through those trees and hit a gap. This is a very well-thrown scramble shot from Jeff to get himself back in position. Should be a very savable par from there.
Yeah, and Rovere here, the only thing he's really dealing with now, besides the wind, is that large tree. Just want to get around that, and he does just that.
Yeah, he goes a little bit past it. Can have a circle's edge comeback putt. All right, we're seeing McCabe go out and around. This is going to be over the OB for a portion of the flight, but not a problem. Throws that turnover shot so well.
Too easy for him. And here's what I was talking about with Mika. Just having to step out a bit, just making it more awkward than what you want. Not a bad throw.
Weird reaction.
Going to be a tester.
Yeah, important upshot here for Faes. Just got to put it close. Get the par. He's kind of leaked some strokes a little bit on the front 9, I should say. But got to get himself back on track.
Yeah, and that's a good save after going early right. Oh, just a bit high.
The worst sound in disc golf.
It just might be. Rovere back for his birdie. The worst sound 2 times in a row. Man.
Yeah, let's not make it a habit of this, guys. Come on.
There's a good bounce back birdie for McCabe after taking that unfortunate double bogey. Couple tap in pars here as we end hole 10. Moving on to hole 11. This is a par 3, 395 feet. OB lining the right side of these trees. A little bit uphill here. This becomes a challenging shot to get all the way there for the right-hand backhand unless you're flexing something up. For McCabe, I think this is the common, I would say, I wouldn't even call it a mistake, but kind of like the common result where you just hyzer out to the left.
Yeah, I'm sure he's happy with that. Going to give himself a long circle 2 putt, but shouldn't take anything other than a par. This is insane. Joe has pured this hole both times he's played it, and it is so hard.
Yeah. Yeah, he got that little turnover flex we were talking about, and my God, he just did it so good.
And this is a great looking shot from Jeff Faes as well. Scoots himself up into the circle. These guys really testing that ceiling on the right-hand side, which is really what you have to do if you want to get yourself a birdie putt.
And you could hear Mika saying bye-bye. That's just heading out to the left. No harm, no foul. It's a tough, circle 2 birdie look, but easy par.
Yeah, and definitely able to give this one a run without much in the way. Oh, off the man.
That was so good from a standstill as well. No jump required. Oh, that's a little high. Yeah, just you see how he's has that touch where he's not trying to blow by the basket, but just scoots it a little high.
This would be a great birdie to pick up. Jeff Faes can knock this one down from 28 feet or so. Ooh, a little left, but sticks it.
Very nice birdie by Faes. And we haven't even gotten to Rovere's drive yet.
Yeah, wild. This is just this hole. He just has its number for some reason.
It's like when you go back to the clubhouse and you're like, man, 11 was so tough. And just like, that's the easiest hole out there.
Yeah, he's like, what are you talking about? Yeah. I've been a combined 14 feet on both rounds.
Here we are at hole 12. This is a par 3, 404 feet, OB lining the left and right side. Just trying to rip something straight here. Make sure we keep it in bounds.
Yeah, nice straight fairway driver is probably a good choice. We saw Eric McCabe give this one an ace run in round 1. And Joe Rovere just likes to putt holes,
What's putting?
Yeah, he listened to your advice on the front 9, Dan. He just wants 8-footers all day. This one catches some cabbage but fights through.
Yeah, kind of hugging that OB line over there. But he's left himself with probably a circle's edge, maybe just outside the circle putt. See if McCabe can
do it again.
Yeah, again. Yeah, exactly.
I was hoping that skip might give it a chance, but
I think he likes that shot better. The result.
Yeah, 8-footers. Yeah, I get it. It's a great shot. This one is looking very nice as well. See what the ground play does.
Just a circle's edge.
Right next to the whisker.
Faes coming back at the basket for his birdie. Get another one to get back down to even. Just a bit high. You can see the wind is kind of blowing at him there. So that means Mika is left with a tailwind putt. He is able to knock it down.
Yeah, that's a great birdie. Great pickup. Especially with 2 of his card mates parked, not looking to lose any more ground. Knocks it down.
tap-ins.
We're through 54 holes.
It is going to be an exciting championship Sunday.
Evelina with what might have been the single best drive in the division.
Evelina has been so good at throwing those direct lines.
2024 PDGA Champions Cup presented by Bushnell winner, Evelina Salonen.
Visit quirkygoodies.com today. We have over 100 fun, unique disc golf tees along with hats, stickers, metal wall art, and much more. Use code PDGA20 for 20% off.
Moving to hole 13, this is a par 4, 397 feet uphill the whole way. This right side is all hazard. So if you throw right at the basket, you're going over the hazard. If you clear it, you're good to go. But it's so open, we see all of our players really take this route. In years past, people would take the left side, but there's really no reason not to chance it over this hazard. Especially because some of these guys have power to get up here and have a look at eagle.
Yeah, we saw Joe throw in a forehand from about 80 feet during round 1 for the eagle. He throws an even better drive this time on this hole. Might be edge of circle 2.
McCabe getting over on it a little too much. He is out of bounds.
Yeah, that's the mistake you can't make is find that right side. The left is a little more friendly. There's kind of space to bail out up towards the green, but this right side, these trees are, oh,
Nice.
I was going to say are going to grab your disc, but somehow Laikko squeaks on through.
We take it.
Yeah, I'm not here to ask questions, you know.
No. Faes putting a lot of hyzer on this one, trusting it to flip up and ride. Does just that. And I should note on McCabe's shot, there is an OB line, so it's different from the hazard. The hazard, you play it where it lies with just a penalty stroke, and then with the OB, he was off to the right, you take it where it was last in bounds.
So yeah, still a chance to get up and down to save his par on this hole. Gonna leave himself with about 20 feet or so. See if any of these guys give this a little bit of a run.
They might. Seems like the wind's blowing right at him. Mika with a little spinner into the basket.
Can Joe go 2 days in a row?
Yeah, Joe.
Oh, he can!
Oh my gosh.
Joe Rovere.
Let's
2
go.
eagles on hole 13 on the week. Spins it in from circle 2.
You gotta love it. There's a good par save by McCabe, but 2 for 2.
Oh, that is so sick.
That means he has to get it.
He has to.
He has to get it again.
He was also the only birdie or the only eagle in the field again this round. So yeah, doing something special out here.
He's getting strokes. We are headed over to hole 14. This is a par 4, 858 feet. OB on the left, OB on the right. Working your way downhill pretty much the whole way. Trying to rip one out the gap, get to the landing zone a little bit before here, and dealing with the big tree in front of this basket. So the shot is kind of a hyzer flip or maybe like a straight to riding right type of shot that flexes out. Kind of like that.
Yeah, just pured from Rovere again. And just like that, like I felt like he was off to kind of a slow start, and he's already 8 down through 14. Again, just an absolutely fire round.
Yeah. You know, and this is the course, right, round 1, where he just had the hot round, couldn't do any wrong. Seems to be doing it once again, even with the winds. And Mika just leaking too far to the left, finding that OB. Still will have a shot to get up and down, but this is a hole where it's really tough to find OB. Here is Faes. He does correct and get that turnover. Maybe a little bit too much.
Yeah, kind of cut rolls there and finds the ground a little earlier than he would like. Probably going to be a near impossible birdie from back there. But in the fairway is fine. Should have a pretty straightforward par. This is looking very similar from McCabe, just kind of burns it over.
Yeah, and if there's a right to left wind out there, those shots that start turning get knocked down, and the ones that start lifting up and to the left, they just get pushed out. So we saw that with Mika, and then we see it with both McCabe and Faes. I have a feeling he's going for this because you are elevated.
Yeah, I mean, that was smoked. It's going to be probably 100 feet short of the basket, but it was still a great shot.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe you're right. Maybe they're a little too far.
Especially, too, with that late OB that comes into play on the... Oh, is this supposed to be a roller?
No, I don't think so. Maybe. I just know that wind, as soon as you get it moving right and get that nose down on the right side, the wind is just going to knock it.
This is a nice shot for Laikko. You can see McCabe's disc there, just scoots on past it. Out in that 100-foot range as well.
Yeah, should be an easy little pitch from there. And here is the best drive of the group. We know he's definitely going for the green.
Yeah, this might just be like a mid-range or maybe a fairway driver. Very smoothly thrown. Comes up a bit short as well, but this is a hard hole, so anything out in circle 2 for a birdie look is great.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeff here going to the forehand, throwing it a little short as well. The wind may be playing games with these guys, getting in their heads.
Oh, man, good run here.
Oh, good run by McCabe.
Yeah, this is definitely one you can give a little bit of a bid from out here in the 80-foot range. Slightly uphill. Just have to make sure you don't hit that one tree. But Mika, he's sticking to the game plan. It's been very consistent, very disciplined, laying up pretty much everything outside of like 50 feet. Joe, this would be for the only birdie in the entire field, but
oh wow,
he's playing it safe as well.
Faes collecting his thoughts before he steps up to this putt. This is to save his bogey. Very well. Very well done, yeah. Faes having a little trouble this round, but it's important to focus on all those shots. I really liked how he took his time.
Yeah, every stroke matters here. He's still well in the mix,
For sure.
Joe's kind of separating himself from this card at least, but we're only halfway through this tournament, so there's still a ton of golf left.
Yeah. Here at hole 15, this is a par 3, 439 feet. You are teeing off from OB. This is playing like an island, so the cart path that you see going off to the left and up to the right, got to stay inside of it, and there are flags lining OB on the right side as well. So this is take your overstable driver, pump it out straight, let it die in. Joe getting a little deep, but that'll be a putt coming back at the basket.
It has very similar shape and shot selection to hole 4 from the front 9. Just looking to swing something out wide that comes up a bit short for McCabe. But he's knocked down a couple long putts today, and he's been close a couple more times, so definitely be seeing him give that a bid.
And Mika starting it off on the right side. He is able to swing back and gets a little roll as well. That'll be a tough C2 bid.
See if Jeff can get himself back to even par with a birdie on this one. Going with the high Spike Heiser line.
Yeah, this is a little higher than what I expected, but it works out for him.
Yeah, pretty similar distance putt to the one he made on the last hole. Another floaty bid, I would assume, coming up for Laikko.
It's McCabe from about 40-ish feet.
Uh-oh.
Sit down. Just off the rim. Probably around 28-ish feet from there.
Yeah, Joe from similar distance. Slightly uphill. Ooh.
Oh, man.
Very weird reaction off the basket there, but does not stick. Kind of scooped out the back.
Yeah, that was definitely a weird one. So here is Faes, our only hope left for a birdie here on 15. He is able to knock it down. It's a good bounce back. You know, he's had some of these struggles. He's had a decent amount of, bogey strokes, but he's always able to find a couple birdies in here.
Good par save from McCabe after that bit of a roll away on his birdie luck. You see the wind kind of picked up there for his putt as well. But with that strong spin putt that he has, doesn't make too much of a difference.
You know, the wind is not fair. The wind, I don't know how often it happens to you. It just seems to always rise when I go to putt, right? In certain tournaments.
And then if you try to wait it out, then it just gets more windy, right?
That's right. You're like, ugh.
Yeah, we've all been there.
In a backyard kingdom, not so different from your own. A prince of southern royalty was born of the plastic stone.
And we have reached the famous island hole, hole 16, par 3, 320 feet. There is a zone to the right you can pitch up to, but nobody's doing that. We are going at the pin. If you do not land in bounds, you go to a drop zone. So these guys are throwing something, I would assume a mid-range or a fairway overstable to work through this wind, and this looks like a good line from Faes.
Great line, going to be a scary comeback putt. You can tell from the ripples on the lake. Looks like a headwind today, so I'm assuming these guys probably mostly disking up to fairway drivers just to get that little bit of extra stability they can rely on.
There's a good shot from Rovere as well. We saw day one, he had a shot a little bit farther than that. He decided to lay it up. We'll see what he decides to do today.
This needs to flip up, and that doesn't look like it's going to. Over the wall for a home run for McCabe. Not what you're looking for, though, unfortunately, in disc golf.
No. This needs to swing. Catches the tree and drops OB. So these guys will be going to the drop zone, which is a new drop zone this year, which gives you a putt. It's a scary one, but it gives you one. From about 35, maybe 38 feet, right?
Yep, neither of those guys won it, though. I think both Jeff and Rovere are close enough. They kind of got to give this a bid, but
yeah,
it's scary.
It is, and that's a common result with a scared putt, is just leaving it a little low. But he'll be able to tap in his par.
Yeah. Actually, it looks like Joe laid it up before we could even catch it on camera. Didn't even think about it.
Oh, yeah. Joe's having another good round, so there's no reason to risk taking a bogey stroke.
Yeah. Par on hole 16 is just fine.
Hole 17, par 4, 645 feet. OB lining the left, OB lining the right, up and over the hill, getting to a landing zone somewhere before this, and then pitching up over this green into the disc golf green. Now, this shot, if you can work your way over to the right, it gives you a better chance to go over all the OB in a more like direct shot. Seems like Faes is doing just that. That looks perfect.
Yeah, a little hairy. Had to get through some of the branches on the right-hand side, but got through clean, and he's going to be rewarded. This is a little safer, more traditional play, just right down the fairway. But still going to be in a great spot. Joe just is probably going to have a choice of a couple of different gaps to hit for his upshot.
Here's McCabe looking to follow suit. It wants to start to turn, but it does stable out. And it does skip too far left? No, he's inbounds. Okay.
Yeah, that thicker grass kind of caught him. Kept him in. And he'll still be in a good spot. A little farther of an upshot because of that severe dogleg right. But anything inbounds and biting off sufficient distance on this tee shot is good, as this one just barely hovers a couple inches off the ground from Laikko, and is going to put him in a great spot as well over there where Faes is on the right-hand side.
Joe, having to deal with a little bit of a low ceiling, is able to keep it high enough to get over the OB, and will give himself a look at his bird.
Yeah, in the shorter position that these guys are playing this year, these upshots kind of ranging in that high 200-foot range. Very reasonable distance if you're able to throw a solid tee shot like these guys did.
It's got to sit, and it does sit down inside 15. Faes is kind of the only thing he has to deal with are those low branches.
Gets under him nicely. Kind of juiced that one, but the tree catches the disc there, and that's going to be a tricky little straddle, but well inside the circle.
It's a nice tester putt for McCabe.
Just a bit off. Another birdie look for Rovere.
Oh, man. Just not committed. Didn't look like a very committed stroke. Leaves it a little bit low. Here's Faes having to straddle out. Maybe going to a knee? There we go.
Maybe not at all.
It's tricky.
Sure, the branches are kind of waving in his face too with the wind.
Yeah.
Just have to kind of pick a window to aim for. Uh-oh.
He committed to it. Just missed his line a bit. Definitely some tricky footing, tricky height to deal with.
As someone who doesn't like straddle putting myself, I often find myself doing that thing that he kind of did there, where you're like, I can just regular putt this, it's not that bad. And then it ends up being much more difficult than if you just committed to the straddle to begin with. It's just a tough break.
It is going to cost him. A little bit of a roller coaster round for Faes. Here is Mika Laikko for his birdie.
Yeah, a bit surprising that he's the only one on the card to pick it up after a great series of drives. But just shows you this green has some nuance to it with that bit of a slope and some of the well-placed trees.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just compounded by, and we keep saying it, but that wind. Okay, so we are finishing up here today on hole 18. This is a par 4, 575 feet. Getting to this landing zone and then pitching up over the water into this elevated basket island green. So this isn't a very long hole, 575. So you're really looking to get, between 300 and 350 off the tee, I would say, to have a nice open upshot in. Mika gets it I think he caught one of those trees and dropped him a little short. He'll still have a look into the basket.
Yeah, it's a good finishing hole. If you're out of position, you really have to make a decision on, is it worth it to go for the green or not? So far, both of these guys won't really have a decision. They threw plenty good enough drives.
Right. And talk about, a good designed hole. And this is McCabe, and he's the one who designs this stuff. So well done by him. And pleasure to see his creation here and watch him play it.
Yeah, I wonder what that's like for him, playing the course, especially on coverage that he designed at the World Championships.
Right.
I'm sure it's, there are pros and cons to it, but cool experience nonetheless.
Absolutely. And here's Faes. As you can see, he was a little bit to the right, but a pretty open shot into the pin, and really good upshot from there. Yeah, I would say with McCabe, you're expected to play well, right? Because it's your course, and then maybe does that bring a little nerves, or are you not nervous because you played all the time? I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
Mika Laikko, also a fantastic upshot. We're looking at 25 feet right there. Look at all the sprinklers in the background. It's majestic.
It is. It is a nice little touch. This one's leaking a bit. Oh no, but it checks up nicely from Joe. If you can really control the distance to hit that front sloping hill, it'll receive the disc very nicely. This is not gonna... Oh no, another one.
Oh wow.
Second home run of the day for Eric. Gonna leave him with this to save a par.
Just hitting the gym a little bit too much, I think. That one does come up a little short. Tough one to run with the wind, elevated basket, OB behind. Kind of a sloping green as well.
Yeah, and after all that, Eric McCabe gonna drop back to even par for the round. Not what he was looking for here. That is a great birdie finish for Mika Laikko to shoot 4 under on the round. You'd got to think that's going to be enough to keep him on this lead card for round 4.
And here's Rovere to end his day on a nice birdie as well. Very good. What a great round. I mean, seems like he owns this course, He just shoots fire here.
Yeah, it suits his game well, and he's capitalizing on it. Jeff Faes with a nice birdie to get himself back to even par. And like we said, the bogey from McCabe. And that'll do it.
You can see here, Rovere with the hot score on our card at under 9 under. Mika Laikko at 4 under, and we got even scores for McCabe and Faes.
But nobody else really in the field making too much of a push. Nice shot round from Johnny Loomy, 5 under. But the lead card's going to stay the same as we head back over to Jones Park for the 4th round. For Dan Brooks Wells, I'm Nathan Johnson. We'll see you there.